Final score from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Your Kansas City Chiefs, 29. The Pittsburgh Steelers, 10. In a game where your Kansas City Chiefs said, we remember last Christmas. We remember falling up short when Santa Claus was stopping by everybody's house. We remember what it was like to look embarrassing, to be embarrassed by the silver and black against the Raiders. We knew what it was like. We knew how much it sucked. And we knew we didn't want to be in that situation again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Kansas City Chiefs, freaks worldwide of all ages, your Kansas City Chiefs rebounded, and they said, you know what? We're going to take care of the Christmas blunder of last year. We're not only going to address it by winning today's game, we are going to freaking dominate a team that we will probably see in our backyard in 4 weeks. Your Kansas City Chiefs came out and they took care of business the way business should be taken care of. It was time for the Kansas City Chiefs to deliver. Neil from South Carolina says, hello. What is going on, Neil? Appreciate you joining our show, our post-game show, which happens to be, I don't know, I'd say about 18 hours later. My guest, you know him, you love him. And if you love him, you may ask him why he's wearing an Oakland Raiders shirt. We'll do that right now on your Kansas City Chiefs post game. Welcome, my man, Harvey Williams. How you doing, Harvey?
What's up, man? What's up, fam? How you doing, bro?
Right. How much are the Raiders paying you to wear this shirt today?
Man, you know, my wife is from Mexico City, so, you know, everybody, I got to represent, man. So I got guns and knives pulled on me. So I had to represent, put my Raider stuff on today, so I ain't get assassinated, man. So how was your Christmas?
It was great. It was great. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you know Harvey Williams was the #1 draft pick for your Kansas City Chiefs. He played from 91 to 93. He played his next 5 years with the Los Angeles Oakland Raiders, and he knows his football. He was a starting running back. You know him. You've been watching him all season. He knows what it's like to succeed, and he knows what it's like to win. Just win, baby, for both the Raiders and the Chiefs. Harvey, Chiefs came out, and they took care of business today. Or yesterday between the Steelers. It's not easy. You don't go into Pittsburgh and dominate like that. When you look at today's game or yesterday's game, what was your overall view before we break it down?
Man, I think they just, because, you know, Pittsburgh is a bully team. They remind me a lot of Baltimore. And, you know, Kansas City, our team was the big bully on the block yesterday, and they didn't take, you know, excuse my language, they didn't take no shit. They didn't take no prisoners. They kicked ass, man. Very, very dominate. I mean, they bullied Pittsburgh, and you know, and they did it without Mr. Jones on defense, man. So, you know, offense looked, you know, clicking on all cylinders. And the scary part, what I want a lot of people to understand, Shaggy, is with the offense with Hollywood Brown out there, you got a guy that runs 4-2 on one side. You got another guy that runs 4-3, close to 4-2. You got Travis in the middle. You got D-Hop in the middle, you know, running crosses across the middle. And then you got, you know, Kareem, you know, doing this thing. And then you got number 15 back there. If I had to bet my life on it right now, I'll put my life on the line right now that Kansas City will win the Super Bowl this year. With that formula right there, what I saw yesterday, man. It's scary. It's going to be hell on wheels from here on out, man.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs came out and they took care of business from jump. You saw Xavier Worthy catch the corner touchdown pass, he was lined up in the backfield, and Patrick Mahomes at Worthy out of the backfield. Worthy made the sensational play, and he scored in the corner of the end zone. I don't know about this touchdown celebration, why they're so why the NFL is so cracking down on it. I did not see a gun. I guess he was using a gun as a prop, and they penalized 15 yards on the extra point, which I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I didn't see it either. No, I didn't see that.
I mean, he was subtle with it. He lifted up his shirt above his above the waist on his right side. So, go ahead.
I thought he was showing his 12 pack, bro. I didn't
Yeah,
see the gun thing. I thought he was just showing his abs. That's what I thought he was doing. But that's something that's petty and minor, man. And when in games like that, especially in the playoffs, man, referees can't be making calls like that. They're young, they're celebrating. The game is almost like a playoff game. Well, to me, watching it yesterday was a playoff game, and they just out there having fun, man. And like I said, they put him in the backfield. And the reason they can do that now, man, because they got Hollywood Brown back in there, and now they can put number one all over the field. Now they can't double him because you got Travis and you got Noah and is it Watson, the other wide receiver?
Yeah, Justin Watson.
It's bro. I don't even know how you're gonna be able to even stop that. So I'm betting. I'm putting all chips in. I'm going all in, and like I said, if I was gonna lose my life, man, I'm gonna bet it.
Right.
I'm gonna bet it.
What I want to say is, quiet as kept, Harvey. It's kind of under the radar, but Xavier Worthy scored 9 touchdowns this season.
Crazy.
I know he's a rookie, and he's been asked to do more with the season-ending injury to Rashee Rice, and I think his 9 touchdowns would be more it'd be more observant. We'd more take notice of it if the games that if the Chiefs didn't go through that 7-week stretch where they were lackadaisical. It seemed like they were just going through the motions. But now, since that 7-week stretch is over and Hollywood Brown has returned to the team, they're able to do more. And as we talked about last week against Houston, we saw it again. We saw it again yesterday. It seems like there's more offensive fluidity with Hollywood Brown on the team, because, you said before the show in these last 2 weeks, the Chiefs look like they do not miss Tyreek Hill at all. With Hollywood Brown, it's something you touched on week 1 when we thought Hollywood Brown would come back by week 3 or 4. You said they're going to make us forget about Tyreek Hill. Still stand by that comment week 1 now that Hollywood Brown has returned the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. To me, man, with him back in the lineup, man, they look more prolific more than they did with Tyreek, because Tyreek was just one guy. Now you got two guys that can completely just run. I mean, like if they was running 100 meters, I think Tyreek would probably get third, man. So, man, when you got two guys that can scat and bring in smoke like that, and then you got old man Travis Kelce in the middle doing his thing, which is to me he's a second quarterback out there on the football field, because when they start dropping in zones and stuff, he knows where to go and drop in the right hole, or if it's not open on one hole, he can go to the second hole, and just and then they got D Hop, and then and then you got Hunt, man, and P Ryan, and I like Pacheco, but here in the long run, man, Kareem Hunt gonna do his thing and gonna compel us to the Super Bowl.
And then Justin Watson, he really stepped up as well. He caught that long, I think it was like a 60-yard pass down the right sideline, he's burning the Steelers cornerback. And, when you look at Justin Watson's game overall, he's not a deep threat, but he was open deep, and Patrick Mahomes hit him deep. And then later on in the drive, he hit him for 14 yards for this touchdown. I've always said that Patrick Mahomes is able to find the number 3 and 4 wide receivers throughout his 7 years here in Kansas City, whether it was Chris Conley, Byron Pringle, and now it's Justin Watson. He makes those guys he makes those guys money. In one season, when Patrick Mahomes was the NFL MVP in 2018, when he threw 50 touchdowns and passed for over 5,000 yards, he made Chris Conley a lot of money when he became a free agent at the end of that year. Byron Pringle replaced him. And then when Byron Pringle had a successful 3-year time here in Kansas City, Byron Pringle signed a 1-year, $5 million contract with the Chicago Bears. So he made his money. So then they went and got Justin Watson here. Justin Watson was on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he couldn't even get on the offensive starting. He couldn't even get on he was just a special teams guy. He couldn't get on the field behind Chris Godwin, Michael Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he just came here as a special teams guy, but they asked Justin Watson to replace Byron Pringle the last 3 years. And like I said, Patrick Mahomes makes these number 3 and number 4 options of this offense not only sustainable, but really good. What do you think about that, Harvey?
Yeah, man. Watson, he looked good, but this is what's about to happen, man. You know, in the playoffs, with these last couple of games that's left, you cannot bring the safeties down in the box now because you got them two guys that's on the outside that can take the top off the defense. So that puts the linebackers on the island, Shaggy. So my thing is they're gonna have to get your cover skills up with these linebackers trying to run with Travis Kelce and D Hop and Watson and them guys that's working underneath. And if the safeties do start coming down for the run, man, you got them two guys that's on the outside that will take the paint off your ass if you get down there too far and go up top on them. And then we're not even going to talk about, Mahomes can take off and hurt you with your legs. So you put a whole lot of stress on the defense trying to figure out, pick your poison, which one you're going to die with. So I wouldn't want to play him right now, especially, with Hollywood Brown coming back and Worthy looked like his confidence is really high right now. And, he looks really, really good right now. The whole team looks really good. And the defense kicked their ass yesterday, and they just bullied Pittsburgh around. So, like I said, man, I would not want to play Kansas City right now, and that even goes for Baltimore too. I don't think Baltimore can match.
Right, and then Steelers came back and they scored on a touchdown run by Russell Wilson, just sneaking into the left pylon, making the score 13-7, and that was the score at halftime. And we saw some, in my opinion, the only negative from yesterday's game was, the Chiefs ended up driving when they were down 13-7, and they went for it on 4th and 1. And Patrick Mahomes hit Travis Kelce for 15, but there was offensive holding on Jawan Taylor on TJ Watt, which killed that drive because it put the Chiefs out of a field goal range. And then the Chiefs punted. Then the Chiefs held the Steelers to punt, but the Chiefs had 12 men on the field. The Steelers kept that drive alive. And Harvey, my game ball, well, not game ball, but my play of the game was there was like 45, 50 seconds left until halftime. And Russell Wilson had Michael Williams down the sideline on in coverage, and he threw a beautiful ball, but Josh Williams got over there just in time to put a finger on it and deflect that ball. That was huge because I felt like if the Steelers made that pass to completion, they would have been up 14-13 at halftime, and it really would have changed the entire dynamics of that game. But the Chiefs came back. They opened up the second half. They drove down the field and they scored. They kicked a field goal to go up 16-7. And then the Raiders, damn Raiders shirt.
Yeah, I know. I know. I got your glasses fogging up. I know I'm messing with you right now, bro. So, it's almost like that documentary when you remember he walked out. The Chief of Harley walked out of court and he saw that the sticker with the Raider thing on. He started cussing and everything. I'm trying to keep you focused, Shaggy.
Gotta be focused on a Thursday morning, day after Christmas. Steelers went down to kick a field goal and made it 16-10. Then the Chiefs had to. You felt like, okay, we've blundered the last couple of offensive possessions. We have to go down the field and score. And Kareem Hunt came in, plowed it in from 3 yards out, putting the Chiefs up 22-10. The Chiefs went for 2 and did not get it. But you felt like, okay, it's the beginning of the fourth quarter. Kareem Hunt delivered on that drive, and now it's 22-10. How did you feel when the Chiefs went up 12, Harvey, going into the fourth quarter?
Oh, I felt it was over with, man. We was drinking champagne and it was pretty much over with, man. I just, they dominated from start to finish. I know Pittsburgh one time, like in the first quarter, they looked like they could go down there and score at any time, and Wilson threw an interception going into the end zone. But after that, man, it looked like Kansas City, we went to like a third or fourth gear, and to me it was over. To me, it wasn't even close. So to me, they look fantastic, and they peaking at the right time. Right now, they look like they work on all cylinders, and they about to make that run, man.
Right. Okay. Then of course, with the Chiefs up 22-10, Patrick Mahomes hits Travis Kelce. He breaks Tony Gonzalez, Kansas City Chiefs touchdown record. What did you think of that, Harvey?
Man, I love Travis. I love old man Travis, man. That record is going to probably stand for a long time. You'll probably never see another guy, like that, probably another 10 or, 15, 20 years from now, man. He understands the game. He's, he's one of the greats. He's gonna go down as one of the greats and one of the greatest Kansas City Chiefs players of all time. And I just, I like what he stands for. I like his game. I like, he operates. I like how he is with his brother. And I'm a big fan of Travis.
Heck yes. He did the spike. He had to do the spike. It put the Chiefs up 28-10, and you knew he had to do the spike just because he beat Tony Gonzalez's record. I don't know why.
Hey, them hops. He look like he ain't got no hops no more either, man. I remember he used to get up and get his wrist over the top of the goalpost. So
yeah. Pete Stonebreaker says a stinky Raider shirt on Chiefs postgame. My Christmas sucks now.
No, nothing better than that, man. Hey, I represent both organizations, man. I'm probably more Chief than Raider. So yeah, it's just messing with Shaggy. Like I said, I got my family here, and we Chief and Raider fans around here.
Hell yeah. Witchy Hall says it was never a stressful game to watch. I was kind of stressed in the third quarter. I was kind of
really.
Well, the Chiefs were up 13-7 or 16-7, and Russell Wilson completed a 3rd and 15, and then he completed a 3rd and 8 before the Chiefs ended up holding them to a field goal. So that was probably my only concern, especially after they fell apart in the, not fell apart, but they gave up those points and missed that gaff on the punt situation where they had 12 men on the field. All right, let's look at this highlight because it was incredible. It only speaks to Patrick Mahomes' greatness. Patrick Mahomes came out of the pocket, and there's Samari Pirine on the ground. He's on the ground. If you look at this, it was 3rd and 7. Patrick Mahomes flipped this pass like he was shortstop to the second baseman, completing going for a double play. Pirine caught this football for 14-yard gain on 3rd and 8. Harvey, when you look at that, here's another angle of it.
Yeah.
There's a guy that caught the ball. What does that tell you about the trust of Patrick Mahomes, who's Samari Pirine's in his first year? Okay, you're a running back, okay?
Right.
Let's say Jeff Hostetler or Joe Montana are struggling out of the pocket, and you fall down. Is Joe Montana or Jeff Hostetler going to throw this ball to you?
Hell no, they're gonna throw it out of bounds, man. So, that goes to show you the trust factor, that the connection that he has with with his skill players, and that he's creating right there, and I thought he just was gonna just run out of bounds, and when he did that at the last minute, man, that was huge. But that's what he brings to the table. He's not going to let anybody beat us, and he's going to make plays when he needs to make plays, and that was one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, that was incredible. Incredible.
I mean, the wherewithal to know, or at least to have faith, that Samari Pirine is going to expeditiously jump up and make this catch. It speaks of trust. It speaks of the wherewithal to know, I know this guy is going to make this catch. If I throw the ball in this manner, that speaks volumes, because I know people are sick. I mean, if you're 31 other fan bases are sick of seeing Patrick Mahomes make these plays, and at first I'll laugh in their face, but again, we have to understand and appreciate greatness. We have to understand and appreciate trust. We have to understand and appreciate that Patrick Mahomes is going to do everything possible to win. And more importantly, to win, he's going to put these guys in success, or put these guys in place to make plays. And Samari Pirine stood up. He got up and made this catch, moving the chains on a key scoring drive. The Chiefs ended up scoring a touchdown on this drive, which was huge, because if he doesn't complete this pass, it's going to be another punt, and the Steelers are still in this freaking game. Yeah. So props to Patrick Mahomes, and props to Samari Pirine for getting up, because
if you look at that picture right there, man, he's looking at the ground. The ball is already in there. That's crazy. That's some stuff that you do in your backyard, Shaggy, when you're a little kid, running around playing in the backyard. That's what we used to do. Things like we used to call a game hot potato, and you could do things like that, but not at the pro level. The only other person that I think that could even pull that off was probably Brett Favre. Would used to do things like that, but not with Mahomes throwing the football without looking, and throwing the ball behind his back and all that type of stuff, man. I don't know how big his hands are, but they must be huge.
Right. I think the only other quarterback, I'm not going to compare anybody to Patrick Mahomes because there's only one Patrick Mahomes. Maybe Dave Craig when he was trying to be elusive in the pocket. I remember the game that you took over, the final game of the 1992 season, Harvey, when you came in the second, third, and fourth quarter and really won that game.
Yeah.
Dave Craig was elusive in the pocket, missing guys and throwing passes to you out of the backfield. So if would you say Dave Craig has a little bit of this in him at all?
David, I'm a very talented quarterback, man, but you're trying to compare a damn Volkswagen to a Bugatti, bro. I mean, no, that's not even close, Shaggy. So that to me, you just said it. I don't think there's anybody that you ever see that even compares to him. When it comes to probably Fred Tarkenton.
Yeah, okay. But
it got to go way, way, way back. That's the only other person I can see that can do things like that.
Well, I think the only reason I brought up Dave Craig is because I remember that game.
Yeah, it was Dave was good. He was good at doing things like that, but not like what this dude's doing, man. It's a whole different level.
Yeah, because you were in the block, and then you went out of the backfield because Dave Craig was running for his life.
Yeah,
and he hit you for 11 yards on a solid catch that you guys ended up scoring.
You talking about the Bronco game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Hell yeah. But, it was a freaking great catch, great play. It's just another highlight for Patrick Mahomes that's going to go down in history as being, the man. It's just another clip from his left-handed pass to Tyreek Hill on Monday Night Football in 2018 to Wasp to all the touchdown passes to Patrick Mahomes or to Travis Kelce. Patrick Mahomes he continues to do it again and again. And that was an amazing play. Let's look at it from the pocket again. That's how it looked from the camera on the goalpost. When you look at P. Ryan, he trusted him to get up, and Patrick Mahomes made that play.
Yeah, he did.
It was great to see.
Yeah, that's great.
And Jedi says, "Hey, I just tell Donkey fans you hate Mahomes the same way Chiefs fans hate Elway. Would you say that's fair?"
Yeah, right. That's a good one.
Hated Elway.
Yeah, just watching the game, man. On defense, bro, it's just the way that they had Pickens so frustrated because they were strangling him, and he was jumping up and crying on the sidelines, and just looked very unprofessional, man. And I knew that it was going to be a long day for Pittsburgh because if they'd have got Pickens, got it going, maybe they'd have had a chance, but the way they was doubling him and beating him up on the sidelines and talking about his mom and daddy and he jumping up and down, it was just they frustrated him. Then Wilson looked like he got frustrated at the end of the game too, and pretty much in the third quarter, Shaggy, they looked like they just gave up, man.
Right.
They gave up.
Let's look at the Chiefs' defensive stats here. We're going to look at the offensive stats here in a minute. Justin Reed had a big interception. Mike Dana had 2 sacks. Felix and Udike Uzama had a big sack.
Yeah, he had a big sack.
Loftus had a sack. Trishard Wharton had a sack. So we had 5 sacks and an interception by Justin Reed, which really killed that drive. And, speaking of, you're talking about inside the head of Pickens. Pickens, I saw on the post game afterwards, and even during the game, J.J. Watt and Nate Burleson talked about Pickens not extending that route, taking that safety away.
Right.
He was supposed to get that safety's attention.
Yeah. Would
have opened up that dump. That pass would have been a touch pass into the end zone to Freiermuth from Russell Wilson. We had Charlie Batch, the Steelers color commentator, on our show on Monday on Arrowhead Allies on Starcade Media, and we talked about the George Pickens. Is he a head case? Is his head in the game? When you see players like that get frustrated, Harvey, there's been players like that we remember from the 90s, great players with potential, but they would always lose their cool, whether it be cornerback Dale Carter, whether it be wide receivers Andre Rison or other players. You knew they had potential, but they just did the little things enough. Sometimes it would cost the game. Do you think George Pickens not being in that slant pattern, that Justin Reed interception really hurt the Steelers or more help the
He,
Chiefs?
but before that play, Shaq, he was already crying and bitching on the sidelines, man. If you go back and look at that play, he didn't even run the route. That's why the safety was able to come, because the safety, if he runs the route like he's supposed to, he holds that safety over there, right?
Yep.
He took the play off because he was crying that he wasn't getting the ball, screaming about his stats, because every time they kept showing him jumping up and down on the sideline, man. It's no place for that, man. It would, if he'd been on the Raiders, we've been whipping his ass in the locker room after the game we've been over with, man, because he reminds me a lot of divas back in the day. If they didn't get the ball the first, 5 or 6 plays of the game, man, they start pouting and crying on the sidelines, and he reminds me of Antonio Brown. If you go back and really think about that, man, and I just think that's a detriment. To the team. When I played for Kansas City, things didn't go my way. I didn't get a lot of playing time, but when I got out there, I tried to do my thing. So I never would look at, taking it out on the franchise by doing things because I'm not getting the ball. I'm not getting, that much playing time. But he just looked like a complete ass yesterday, during the game, that he wasn't getting the ball. Then at the end of the game, he didn't even go back in the game. If you go back and watch in the fourth quarter, he just like he threw his hands up and he was done for the day. So that's going to come back and bite them in the ass come here in the playoffs if Tomlin don't get that ironed out, getting it straightened out, because I'm quite sure they're watching film right now, and it's not going to be a real pleasant thing in the locker room. I wouldn't want to be in the wide receiver room right now watching film after that performance from him.
If you're the offensive coordinator, I mean, let's last questions we'll ask about George Pickens. If you're the Steelers offensive coordinator and you're looking at film with George Pickens right now and you see, his potential, he's great, he can make catches. If you're sitting with George Pickens one-on-one, Harvey, what are you saying to him to get his head back on right? As well as
I'll keep with the remote. I keep rerunning that play right there and say, if you keep doing this shit, what you're doing right now, I will put your ass on the bench and I'll put somebody else in it. I don't care what your potential is, but you're supposed to be a professional. You're supposed to be one of the leaders on the team. And Wilson, it's a reason that he can't get the ball to you because they doubling you and he has to go elsewhere with that. You just can't, when that type of stuff start happening, I'm talking to Pickens, when that type of stuff happens, when you start crying and we can't get the ball to you, I can't force the ball to you because you're not open. So I got to go elsewhere. So you gotta run your routes. You got to run your routes. If somebody else will start getting hot, then guess what? The safety got to start cheating to that side of the field, and then maybe we start running quick. They started running quick slants, slant up and out. Start doing things like that. But man, he was crying like a cheerleader the whole time, and there's no place for that. And I was just telling him, man, I'll put your ass on the bench. We can't allow that, and we can't have it. I'm quite sure the offense coordinator is going to get it, and Mike Tomlin is going to get it.
Yeah, definitely. And what'd you think? When the Chiefs were doing the post game, they were handed 2 coats, big coats from Netflix, and they gave him a red velvet football cake. And during that time they were giving it to him, George Pickens walks in the middle of it, gives Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey a hug, and says, you can hear him say, "You guys are the best in the world." He hugs him and walks off. If you're on the Steelers coaching staff, are you going to be upset about him saying that to Patrick on TV? You're the best in the world.
Bro, it is what it is, man. It's like, like a boxer, man. If you get your ass beating somebody bloody in your nose, I mean, you gotta give him. I mean, he's telling the truth. You gotta give him mad respect. If I'm the Steelers, I wouldn't want to play Kansas City again. If somehow we got to play somebody else and pray that somebody knock them off or something like that. But I wouldn't want to play Kansas City. And them dudes look so cool as hell with them red jackets on with eating that cake. Did you see how they came in the locker room when they ran there going ho ho ho? I thought that was so gangster. That was gangster.
Yeah, it was. Let's look at these stats for your Kansas City Chiefs on offense now. Patrick Mahomes was 29 of 38, 320 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Harvey, in 2 games at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, in 2 games Patrick Mahomes has played, he has thrown 9 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Week 2, 2018, Patrick Mahomes went in there and threw 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. And the Chiefs needed all 6 of those touchdown passes because it was a shootout between Patrick Mahomes and Big Ben Roethlisberger. The Chiefs won that game 42-37, and we need all 6 of those touchdown passes. We didn't need all 3 touchdown passes today, but damn it, yesterday, but it felt good to get them. What did you think of Patrick Mahomes? When you look at those stats and look at his game yesterday, we just looked at the P. Ryan picture. What did you think of Patrick Mahomes' day yesterday?
He's the Michael Jordan of the National Football League right now, Shaq. He's with Kelsey, Worthy, Watson, Brown. When you got guys putting up stats like that, I mean, ain't nobody, got one guy got 175 yards. He's spreading the ball around. So it's gonna be hard on defense. That puts a whole lot of stress on the defense. And then you got Kareem Hunt, running like a madman in the middle. So if I'm a head coach or I'm a defensive coordinator, man, that gives me, I got Pepto-Bismol, I got a pamp on right now. It's gonna be hard to stop that, bro. And I just don't see anybody like I said, about 5 or 6 weeks ago, me and you were singing a different tune. They didn't look good. They're winning, but it looks weird.
Yeah.
They're peaking at the right time right now. So that weirdness, I guess, like I said, Reed know what he's doing, but I guess they were just waiting on Hollywood Brown to get back, and that just spreads the defense out even more. And get that Lombardi ready, man. It's getting ready to come back to KC.
What the Chiefs did was, and you saw it between halves. The Chiefs deferred when they won the toss because they want that ball to open up the third quarter, and I like that thinking and I like that coaching.
Yeah, I do too. Yes.
The Chiefs forced a punt. Then when they got the ball in offense in the very beginning of the game in the first quarter, they ran the ball 5 straight times. And then they passed once, and then they ran it 2 more times. In the second half, when the Chiefs got the ball, they passed the ball 8 straight times. So
right.
It was 5 straight times, and the Chiefs got down to the 14-yard line. They passed, bang, 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 pass, nip, and they got down to the 14-yard line. They had to settle for a field goal, but it was just the dynamics changed. The adjustment changed. The adjustments that the Kansas City Chiefs make at halftime from Andy Reid, as well as defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, he deserves credit for that.
Yes, he does.
This team makes at halftime is so key because they are different. They don't come out in the second half and try to run the ball 8 of the first 9 times like they did when they had the ball in the first quarter. They came out pass, and they were up 13-7. They knew we want to hurry up and score. They only got a field goal, but they came out and they scored. And to go up 16-7. Kareem Hunt overall had 9 for 20. He had 1 touchdown. Pacheco had 6 for 18. He left with a rib injury. We don't know the extent of the rib injuries. Harvey, you've played this game. You know what it's like to get injured, or whether it's nagging injuries like turf toe. Have you ever had a rib injury? No. I never got hit in the ribs, but Pacheco's a little guy, man, and he's been hurt the whole season. So his body, when it comes to, and he runs hard. I can't take, but he's a small man with a small frame, but he runs big. And I just think they need to flip that order and let Kareem be the lead dog, and Pacheco comes to that change of pace, which I think that's what they should do. And like I said, the way they are rocking and rolling on offense and defense, it just, that when they started the game, they ran the ball, 5 times. That was to make a statement. That was the center statement to Pittsburgh. And then when you said they came out in the second half, they threw 8 times. My thing is, you know who Bruce Lee is, right? Yes.
In the movie Enter the Dragon, he says, when he's talking to his master, he said, when they contract, we expand. When they expand, we contract.
Right.
Yeah. So that's basically what they're doing. And it's just, check. They look so dominant and so confident yesterday, man. And Pittsburgh's supposed to be a physical and no nonsense team, and you're not gonna come in here and take our remote and open our refrigerator and do this type, and then you're gonna sit down and be quiet. And Kansas City didn't do that yesterday. We didn't do that yesterday. They just went in there and kicked ass and took names, man. So to me, I know I said it last week, but they are clicking and they are primed to with this run they're getting ready to have right here. To get that Lombardi, man. I can't say anything more than that. They look damn good yesterday. They look fantastic yesterday. And that was without Jones on defense, which is scary.
Yes. Harvey, I want to talk about specific with nagging. I mean, everybody, the common thread, or the most repetitive thing you hear as a football fan is, come week 16 or 15 or 17, everybody's hurt a little. Everybody's got some sort of nagging injury. Harvey, in 1992, you played the home opener and you sustained a turf toe injury. We, as fans, did not know what's turf toe. The Chiefs play on turf. How was that? And you missed the next 5 weeks. Then the next time we saw you on TV was in the Dallas Cowboys game, and you busted off a 15-yard run. There was no internet to know the extent on when you'd be back or what your injury was about. How do you know when to come back from injuries, not only from ribs or specifically your case, turf toe? How did you know when it was okay to come back? What is it?
It's a feeling, when your turf toe is like when you almost, it's like you sprain the joint in your big toe. And, to be able to run as running backs, you got to have your big toe to be, to keep your balance and cut off off the grass and turf at very high speeds and different angles or different things like that. I thought I had broke my toe because that popped, but it takes a long time for that joint to heal and to come back. And at this time of year, everybody, Shaggy, is banged up. That's where the maintenance comes in at, the cold whirlpools and the heat and cold and cold and hot and you're stretching and you still get massages and you just, trying to drink plenty of water and, try to get your body lubricant because, everybody gets tight. Everybody's tight. Everybody's banged up. And it's just, if whoever's going to do the maintenance, that who wins that, the end of the season and try to keep all the guys healthy and you got to eat good and get your rest and all that plays in the factor when at the end of the year, because like you're saying, everybody's beat up, everybody's ready for the season to be over with. Everybody that's not making the playoffs, they are already at home right now, even though they got a couple of games left, and the guys that's getting ready to make the run, it's like it's a new season for them. So you got to get that that fresh start, feel like the season is just starting. The Chiefs have been one of the best teams in the National Football League to be able to do that and get ready for the playoffs. So I think their second season is getting ready to get started.
How hard is it for the training staff to deal with these not only nagging injuries like Pacheco's ribs? How do they maintain your toe, making sure that didn't, like when you came back and you helped the Chiefs go to the playoffs in 1992? How does the training staff go daily to make sure that your toe, or for Pacheco's instance, his ribs? How do you make sure that doesn't? How does the training staff go about making sure that doesn't flare up again?
Man, just the ice and water and stretching, and those guys, they do all the dirty work, all the trainers and stuff. They the one that keep the players going. They are the one that keep the organization going. It's almost like you ever seen the Indy cars when they come into the pit stop and them guys run out there like that's exactly what it looks like in the locker room and the training room. When players go in there to get treatment, you got like 3 or 4 guys working on one guy. That's exactly what they taking a foot off or taking transmission out and different things, trying to get those guys back in the race. And Kansas City, like I said, they got a great organization. I'm quite sure they got a whole lot of trainers that have specific jobs to go in there and make sure those players are ready to get back and stay fresh. But for this run right here that they're getting ready to have.
Okay, the reason why I asked specifically about Pacheco's ribs and your injury in early 1992, because in 1992, you were the key catalyst that led the Chiefs into the playoffs. You're even the starting running back in the playoff game in 1992. When you come into, let's say, the last week of the season, you knew you were going to be a key factor to help get the Chiefs in the playoffs, and they know, does the staff know as soon as you walk in, okay, Harvey's got a toe, he's got a shoulder, or do they just work on everything from head to toe, or do they go in and address your previous injuries?
Yeah, whatever you got hurt, and I got a bad hip. You're on your day off. A lot of guys want to just stay at home and get treatment. No, get your ass up into the training room. You got to get in your car and drive out there and get treatment. And the worst thing you could ever do is be hurt, Shaggy, and don't show up for treatment on the day off, and then come back the next day talking about, I'm hurt and I can't practice that. That's the kiss of death right there. You will have a head coach cut your head off because you're being lazy and it's at the end of the season and you don't feel like getting in your car driving to the facility to get the help that you need to get help to keep your ass on the football field. So not getting treatment is the worst thing that you could do. So that's how they used to do it back when I played.
So you think, knowing Isaiah Pacheco, the Chiefs had 10 days to prepare for a meaningless game with Denver, and that's something we're going to touch on in a minute. You think Pacheco for better or for worse, he needs to be at Arrowhead right now, getting his ribs massaged, looked at, or whatever.
I'm 1,000%. He's at as we speak right now. He's probably getting stretched out. If it's cracked, they have things that give you shots that can deaden that area, and then you got to put on they call it like a flap jacket. But we have already the #1 seed, so I wouldn't even play him this coming week, man. I would start getting ready again for the playoffs.
Right. All right. Antonio 3850 asks, how are the Chiefs doing all of this without the amazing Tyreek Hill? How are they doing it, Harvey?
With Worthy and Hollywood and Watson and Kelsey and they like the Harlem Globetrotters right now, man. That's what Mahomes looked like yesterday, because like he got a new shiny toy that he's putting on display, and they look excellent yesterday, man.
Right. Michael McKee asks, I heard the rib cracked when it happened.
Ooh.
Watch the replay. Michael, I appreciate you. I hope you and your beautiful daughter Rose are having an awesome holiday season. Thank you for the comment, but I think we're going to have to wait and see specifically, because the game just ended about 19 hours ago. So we're not specifically sure of what it did happen. We don't know yet, but hopefully we'll find out before the day is over. Hopefully the weekend is over. Hicks, Jaden Hicks, the free safety who came in there, he got a 15-yard penalty for taunting Pickens after the fourth down. I love that.
When he gave him the thumbs down, when he tried to. And guess what? That was Wilson trying to force the ball to crybaby Pickens on that play, because he threw that ball into double coverage, man. I guarantee you he was acting a fool on the sidelines, and Wilson, trying to satisfy him, slung it up there. It should have been picked off, and that's why he gave him the thumbs down. So I thought that was pretty funny when that happened.
Michael McKee also says turf toe ended Lambert's career. Wow, I did not know that, but man, that sounds. I'm glad. How are they preventing that injury now, Harvey? It was so prevalent in the 90s. It seemed like they're doing a good job. Are they wearing better shoes?
Better shoes, yeah. When I came back, I had to have a plate in the top of my foot where my toe was, so my shoe wouldn't bend. So, and that's hard. And then flexibility in running backs' feet are the most important thing. Feet have to be really, really flexible. And it felt like I had a cast on when I was running with that steel bottom in the bottom of my shoe.
Wow. Did it feel like it slowed you down, or how did you mentally put that aside to be successful in that 1992 season?
I couldn't. I had to take it out, man. After at halftime, I got to take it out, and they were like, you might do it again. I was like, it don't feel right. I felt like I was like a newborn baby giraffe. I felt like I wasn't stable, and then and for me, I had to feel right, man. If I didn't feel right, I was gonna have a bad game. So, yeah.
Wow. So, the Chiefs took care of you in 1992 when you sustained that. You, like I said, I can't say that enough. You were the reason why that we won that game in 1992 and took us to the playoffs, and you were the starting running back in the playoff game. All right, let's look at the Chiefs post-game locker room celebration at Pittsburgh.
Man, hey, bro, you ain't beating them guys, man. They confident, they're having fun. They just letting their hair down, and it's just. That's special, man. It's gonna be hard to beat those dudes, man. And you can tell those guys they love Andy Reid, and they're gonna play for him. You can tell they like to own a hunt. They're gonna play for him, and it's just they got a goal, and I think they focused enough to go and do what they need to do here. Come this playoff run, man. So that's that. I would love to be in that locker room with them cats. They look like they love each other, and it looks like it's a big family, and they're having fun. And Santa Claus did his thing yesterday.
I love the road whites. Marty Schottenheimer, when he came to Kansas City, he got rid of the red pants, and the Chiefs didn't have red pants throughout from 1989 until 2000. It's kind of throwback, but it seems like they love pulling those red socks up. You know what I mean? When you guys wore all white, you had the white socks, right? They didn't give you no big long red socks, did they?
No, we had white socks. Yeah, we had white. We call that icy white. I used to love playing all white like that, man. So I thought we looked totally different than everybody else with all that white on. They look good yesterday.
Yeah, you wore. Have you noticed, like, between the pads, like Barry Ward and Christian Okoye had big, humongous football pads, and if you notice backs in today's game, running backs don't wear like those massive shoulder pads like Barry Ward.
I had wide receiver shoulder pads. I had little pads. You know,
Yeah.
that's why my neck looks so long, because I had little shoulder pads on, man. So
Listening during my lunch, Kurt Thacker. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. Yes, we did. Appreciate
yep.
you, Kurt. You kick ass, buddy. All right. Do you notice that one question before we preview Denver? Do you notice that the padding, they don't wear as much pads as they do?
Yeah. I didn't wear knee pads.
You didn't?
No, when I got to the Raiders, Marty used to lose his mind. But when I got to the Raiders, man, I wore my shoes. I wore soccer shoes on grass,
Right.
and I would trim my knee pads to like up. I didn't even really have knee pads on, and have my pants rolled up. So you just want to be as light as possible, because mentally, if you feel lighter, you're gonna run faster. So the big, like you just saying, Barry and Christian used to wear them big ass shoulder pads, man. I didn't even know how they would, and Christian would wear high tops, which was crazy to me. So and Barry did the same thing. So the lighter I felt, with the equipment the faster I felt like I could run. But I could never wear those, all those pads. And the Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson, he used to have a pad everywhere. So he had a neck brace on, he had a butt pad, he had a cup on, he had shin guards on. I mean, I was like, bro, I don't know how you can run with all that stuff on.
Man, but don't you worry about your knees getting freaking destroyed by not having those pads on?
No, I know how to fall. I felt like a ballerina. I know how to fall and duck and roll, man. So I never actually fell on my knees ever. So when I fell, I was rolling when I fell forward. So yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
All right, Harvey, let's before we preview Denver, we got to look at yesterday's hip hip hooray for your Kansas City Chiefs. What's Harvey's hip hip hooray for your Kansas City Chiefs?
The offense, man. The offense. The whole offense get the game ball for me with Mahomes and those 4 or 5 wide receivers that he can throw the ball to now, and the offense look prolific. They look better than when Tyreek Hill was there in his heyday. Now they got 2 guys that can scat just like that, and Noah and Travis and D Hop. They're gonna get fed here, in the inside, and running, crosses and different things like that, man. So the offense get my hip hooray.
And Chiefs Steelers, hell no.
Nothing illegal about it. His head's in front. Bang! Down he goes. Now look at
what was the hell no for yesterday, if any?
Pickens, the man, he just, I hate that, man, when I see that. He reminds me of that asshole Antonio Brown, man, which I just Shaggy, it's no place for that, man. You know what else used to do that? Terrell Owens used to do that on the sidelines, man. And I saw Randy Moss used to do it a couple of times. Chris Carter used to do it sometimes.
Randy Moss and Terrell Owens still had Hall of Fame careers, and they were able to bounce back but until I think the Steelers show that they can have some playoff success, I don't think George Pickens needs to be acting that way either. Tucker said, glad to have a non-stressful game. I was impressed with the D-line for no Jones. Heck yeah, that was definitely impressive. You're going to have it ready. And as Kurt Thacker said, and as we've alluded to, Pickens looks like a pouting 11-year-old. Would you say 11-year-old or more like 9-year-old, Harvey?
No, he's like a 8-year-old little girl with a pacifier in his mouth, man. That's how bad he looked. I'm gonna say it, man. It's no place for that, man. And then once you let him get away with that on the sidelines, it start leaking into other players. Feel like they can start doing the same thing. And man, Tomlin to me, just watching him over the years, I think he's a no nonsense coach. I guarantee they blew his ass up today when he walked in the offices today. I guarantee you they did. The offensive coordinator probably didn't talk to him, and I know Tomlin probably, because it looked bad on TV for him.
Well, Mike Tomlin's been the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach since 2007. I believe he's the longest tenured head coach in the NFL currently. So he's doing something right in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They've never had a losing season with Mike Tomlin as a head coach. So,
right.
And there's probably a damn good chance we're going to see him in the playoffs. I mean, all they got to do is probably win one game, and we're going to have Pittsburgh Steelers here. They're a formidable foe just because they are the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they have a good defense, because George Pickens, we're criticizing his temper and his immaturity. he can still ball.
Yeah, no, he can ball, man. They just but like you said in the playoffs, you got one game, and if you lose that game, you go home. But the way them dudes, once you whoop somebody's ass one time, man, I mean, they probably do it. The next time they see the Steelers, it might be a whole lot worse, especially playing the Arrowhead. So, yeah, so.
Yeah, definitely something to think about, and we will break down when we get closer to the playoffs. Harvey, the Chiefs have 0 to play for next in 10 days in Denver. 0 to play for. Patrick Mahomes isn't going to play. He's going to have his third child sometime next week. So, and he talked about that in Postgame on Netflix. So he's not going to play. It's going to be backups. The Denver Broncos are going to be playing to clinch a playoff spot. If the Broncos beat Cincinnati this weekend, they will clinch a playoff spot. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati wins this week against Denver. So the Denver Broncos are going to be going all out to clinch a playoff spot in 10 days against the Chiefs at home at Denver. The Chiefs are going to be playing all their backups. Anything you want to see in this game in 10 days in Denver?
Just rest, get ready, man. I wouldn't. None of my starters would play. My second and my third string guys would play in this game. There's a lot of things you can see doing games like this because number ones get hurt, and I have my second and third guys out there. I would stress a whole lot on my special teams. Getting ready for the playoffs. I think Hollywood Brown probably need a lot more reps along with Xavier. I had those guys out there just running free and just getting more comfortable of catching the football, especially Hollywood Brown. Kelsey wouldn't play, and rest some of the guys on defense up front, the front four, and put the third guys in there. And that goes same thing with the secondary.
It's definitely a fun situation to be in when you can rest, when you can have a non-stressful game. Well, Harvey, what do you got planned for New Year's Eve?
Man, my wife just made me take all this trees down. That's why you can't tell I've been sweating, but she made me get my ass up early this morning to take the tree down, put it back in the attic. So we getting ready for 2025, man. So looking forward to a new year. New everything. Trying to dedicate myself to getting more and fit. Lose a couple of pounds and just get ready for the rest of my life. So that's pretty much what we trying to get ready for.
Man, I seen video of you working out in your driveway. You're ready to fill in right now. we need some backups to play. You think you can play this Sunday?
No,
Harvey?
bro, no. I can bring him some water. That's about it, bro.
You can't get a swing.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You look, hey, congratulations on that documentary, man. You look really, really good. Thank you for representing, my family. Like, oh my God, that's your jersey in the background. It was pretty cool, and I just I thought the documentary was fantastic. Those guys did an incredible job, man. And, matter of fact, when I get through with you, I'm going to go watch it again. I watched it 3 times already. Very interesting story.
Thank you again, Harvey. I appreciate that. And thank you for Dylan Sires and Dave for joining us last week to preview the movie. Check that out on the previous video. Last question we have from our follower, Mark Murray. Any chance the Chiefs play a series or 2 with their starters? You play the starters at all, Harvey?
No. We got it. We got the number 1 seed. I mean, what for? I mean, you take that chance. Next time you see them dudes, man, they should be getting ready for all the marbles. Talking about in the playoff game. So, yeah, I wouldn't risk it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you all had a Merry Christmas. Thank you again for tuning in for this show 11 in the morning the following day. Harvey, I can't thank you enough. I hope you have a great New Year's. I hope you're not working too hard taking all your Christmas stuff down. I hope that you have a great New Year's Eve and a great time.
Same to you, my brother.
We're going to have a pretty chill show in 10 days when we break down the Chiefs and Broncos. We will preview the playoffs and we will discuss the backups. Until next time, thank you, Chiefs Kingdom. Thank you for everything you've done. Appreciate every single one of you. Until 10 days, this is Shaggy Shane Harvey Williams saying, go Chiefs!
Chiefs!